Was the electric chair a necessary evolution of justice, or a monstrous invention that had no place in civilized society? By the late 19th century, two titans of industry were at war: Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse. Their weapons, alternating current and direct current. The battlefield, the entire globe. But the front lines were drawn right here in this small New York City courtroom. In 1899, a young woman sat on the precipice of death. Her crime, the brutal murder of her lover. Her punishment, the first ever electric chair. As the executioner strapped her in, he connected the wires to her bare legs. Then he pulled a lever. Sparks flew, and a terrible stench filled the room as the current surged through her body. She screamed twice, then went limp. For Westinghouse, this was a massacre. His alternating current had just executed its first victim. In the ensuing media frenzy, he proclaimed, "It is a triumph for the insane asylum and a defeat for civilization." But his rival, Thomas Edison, saw things differently. This was a victory for justice, he said, an invention that would rid the world of cruel and unusual punishment. So who was right? Was this progress, or was it cruelty? To answer that question, we have to go back to the beginning. The electric chair was the brainchild of Alfred P. Southwick, a dentist turned inventor. He developed the device after witnessing the horrors of a public hanging. Unlike hanging, which was often bungled, electrocution was supposed to be quick, clean, and above all certain. But even as Southwick refined his design, he knew that lethal currents could also burn, scorch, and char. So he added water to the mix, a sponge on the end of a metal tray. The idea was to submerge the sponge in cold water, then press it against the condemned person's bare leg. This would ensure that the current traveled through the body without doing too much damage. On paper, it made sense. But in practice, things didn't always go smoothly. When the New York State Supreme Court first approved the electric chair as a method of execution in 1899, many people protested. The state's highest judge later called it a barbaric, horrible, and excruciating death. But the pro-execution side won out. And soon enough, newspapers were reporting on the upcoming event with headlines like "Death by Electricity." As the condemned woman sat in the chair, people crowded into the courtyard to watch. Some gasped as the first jolt hit her and she jerked violently. Others cheered when she slumped over, unconscious.
In the end,
it took 3 minutes for the electric chair to kill her. And as the crowd dispersed, many wondered if this newfangled form of capital punishment was really as humane as its supporters claimed. After all, the condemned had been subjected to a horrific ordeal. It's not because she was evil, but because the state had deemed her punishment